Hi, I'm Lisa Marie and welcome to my channel, Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie. Today we're going to do shabby chic DIYs. For this DIY, I'm going to take a dowel rod and a shower curtain. Actually, no, that's a napkin ring. And then a bunch of different ribbons and lace and so forth that I just had already in my stash. Now, the funny thing is I didn't actually have to go out and purchase anything new for this since I did have these things laying around. But you might have to if you don't have all of them. So this was very inexpensive for me. Now I'm going to figure out how long I want to make this. It's like a wall hanging. So I'm going to measure every ribbon. I'm going to cut 2 of each different kind. And I just used my square to kind of give me a guideline. Pick whatever size you want. I also have this really pretty shimmery kind of multi-color pinkish yarn that I got from Walmart, and I decided to cut a bunch of pieces of that to make it about the thickness of an actual ribbon. Now I'm going to take this gold and white baker's twine that I got at Target, and I'm going to wrap it around the entire dowel. I just want to make sure that you don't see the wood. I'm just trying to keep this very soft and very shabby chic, and I think that gold really adds a nice little accent. You might not really even see it once I cover it with the ribbon, but just in case, I wanted it to be there. Now I'm going to lay out my ribbons and try to figure out the pattern that I want to do with them, since I have 2 of each, and just see like what looks good laying next to each other, how the lengths all look, and just, you know, kind of get it ready to attach it to the dowel. I'm going to use my hot glue gun to attach it. I'm going to roll it over the top and then put some glue and then pull it down and maybe add 1 more dot of glue to secure it depending on the ribbon and if it really needs it. I don't want a piece to just randomly fall off. And I'm working end and then the other end because I have 2 of each, and I'm going to try to use a piece on each side basically till I get to the center. When I was looking around online for shabby chic inspiration, I noticed that these kind of wall hangings are very popular, and I thought, well, then I'm going to make one of those. Plus, it's so easy and inexpensive. I wanted to show you guys something that anyone could go do, and I think you'd enjoy making it as well. This one kind of a burlap netted piece of ribbon I got from burlapfabric.com, and it is so gorgeous. Actually, I'll put a link down in the bottom. I have a discount code too. Back in my quilting and sewing days, I had collected a lot of lace, and I've got this piece that is super wide and stretchy, and it's just an interesting kind of a piece of lace. So I'm going to stretch it across the back and attach it along the back, sort of as a backdrop, and it fills in any gaps, and it's so gorgeous. Now here's what I have so far. I haven't added that yarn yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But I'm also going to do a little trimming too, because I need to get them more even and figure out how I want it to look at the ends. And then I'm going to take that yarn that I mentioned and I'm going to put it on a little piece of masking tape and then hot glue them all together and then wrap the masking tape around it, because otherwise they kind of just get all, you know, they fall apart from each other. So then I'm going to go ahead and hot glue that right on the back like I had with the other ribbons, and I'm going to do one on each side. Then I'm going to take that little napkin holder and I'm going to use a little bit of a mop head that I got at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to wrap it all the way around, and once I do that, I'm going to make a little hanger on the back. And I just didn't want that bright silver in there. I thought this looked really cute. And I'm going to take my jute twine and I'm going to make the string for the hanger, and then I'm going to attach it to that little napkin holder. And it just looks really pretty. And I tied it to each end of the dowel and then made knots, hot glued it, and then trimmed the little excess from that jute. Next, I'm going to pull the 2 jute twines up to the top and just kind of determine how high I want them to come together, basically how long the hanger itself will be. So once I got that, I attached it to that little napkin holder by tying it through the center so it would be nice and secure. And I always use the hot glue as a little extra security. And then I added another piece of the rope inside, like I had said before, and made a hanger. But now I'm showing you, so I just wanted to make sure you knew what I was doing in there, because it looks like I'm just kind of stuffing it in there. But I'm really just trying to secure it and make it have as little extra of the mop head showing as possible. I hope that makes sense. And then you see I just end up with one little loop, and that's how I hang it. I decided to add some florals. So I had some florals that came out of an old like decor piece, and they didn't look as brand new as like the Dollar Tree ones do or in Walmart. They just had like an older look because I had gotten them at a thrift store, and I cut off the little stems so they could lay as flat as possible, and then I attached them at just kind of random places. And I did use a couple of flowers from Dollar Tree because those were a little off-white and I just thought they looked a little more vintage. You guys, I love this. I love how it turned out, and I really hope that you like it too. Today's video is in partnership with my friend Liz at The Official Craft Nerd. You guys, Liz is such a sweetheart and she is incredibly talented. On Liz's channel, you will see so many different styles of home decor. She is capable of making anything, but she really kind of narrows in on the shabby chic because boy, is that her sweet spot. She is really good at that, and I highly recommend you go over to her channel, tell her I said hello, and I'll even have her channel link and the video link down below in my description box for her video for our partnership. I know you won't be sorry when you go over there because you'll just be blown away by all the cool things she makes. And if you are here visiting from Liz's channel, welcome. I'm so happy to meet you, and I hope you'll stick around. I hope my channel is a fun place where you can come and be inspired to create something. I do all different kinds of decor styles. There's something for everyone. If you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button and leave me a comment. We are one big crafty family here. I hope you'll consider joining us. I'd love to see you again in the future. For this DIY, I'm using an item that I found at a thrift store for $3, and it's just a block, kind of a sign with velvet on the back, and then on the front is this sort of distressed floral picture, and that actually might be considered shabby chic just by itself. I cleaned it off with some alcohol, and then I decided I'm going to use some scrapbook paper to embellish it and start the beginning of my shabby chic process. So I used my little cutter and I figured out the right size to put this piece on the top. I'm using Mod Podge to attach it. And I tend to like to put a little bit on and then attach it one side at a time. And I'm using my brayer to push it down. If this had been something really thin, I would have also probably used saran wrap and then used my brayer over that. But this is a very nice thick piece of scrapbook paper, so it doesn't really require that. It's not going to bubble like you might think. A trick you can do is spray it down with a little bit of water first before you lay it down, and that helps to get rid of any of the bubbles or wrinkles. I didn't need that on this one, so that's why I didn't do it. Next, I'm going to take one of these doilies. It's kind of the middle-sized one, and it fits perfectly right on top of this block. And I'm going to cut out the center, and then you see I just have the outsides of the lace on the doily, and I'm going to Mod Podge that down as well. I'm also going to add a layer of Mod Podge over the top. Dollar Tree has such cute decals. So this one says always be joyful, and I'm going to cut it apart so each word is separate, but I just love it, and it's got that really cool font and the gold and black, so I think it'll look really nice on this. And I'm going to take off the decal. I'm going to place them right on top of this little sign, and so it's going to say always at the top, be in the middle, and then joyful on the bottom. And I just love that. I'm also going to add some Mod Podge over the top of each of the decals to make sure that it's not going anywhere. And since this represents a scripture, which there was a reference for, it's Thessalonians 5:16, I want to make sure I put that on there so people know that it is directly from the Word of God, and that this is what He wants for us, to always be joyful, no matter what our circumstances, no matter what's going on. Now I'm taking my little nail file, and you can use a little sanding block for this also, and I'm going around the edges and making sure I get rid of all the excess. And you only do this when it's dry. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white paint, and I'm going to paint all the way around. And I think I'm using the white Waverly chalk paint for this one. I have these cute little flowers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to use a little bit of Apple Barrel's paint called Warm Buff. It's like a beige. And I'm just going to tone them down, because they're so bright. And I think for this piece, I just want it to be slightly more muted, the color, especially that yellow in the center. That's actually what I do first. And then I do go back and do a little bit more over all the flowers. And these little balls that I got from the floral section also, you'll see me add those. And I just love that kind of softer feel that it gives it. Again, I love the pink, but for this shabby chic, I just wanted to be a little more soft and feminine. I'm also going to take some little leaves that came off of a pick. I'm going to cut them apart and just randomly place them near the flowers here and there. I just thought that would be fun. And then the ones that are by themselves, I'm going to add those little round pink balls that you'll see in a minute right over the top. And I just like that little touch of green. I think that's very pretty, and I think it really adds to the look. One thing that I was thinking is, with the sheet music I have in the background and then always be joyful, it makes me think about that song, I've got that joy, joy, joy down in my heart. So it kind of reminds me of that. And that's kind of the message I think I was trying to put across here. I guess think of it this way. It costs nothing to have joy in your heart and spread joy. I mean, that's so much better than spreading negativity and complaining, don't you think? At least I do. At this point, I'm going to take that Warm Buff color by Apple Barrel, and I am just literally going to go over all of the flowers and the balls and just tone it down just a bit. Doesn't that just add such a nice shabby chic feel? I really like that. And again, I have nothing against the bright pink. I'm all over it. I love it. But for this piece, I think this is the look that it really needed to have. Plus, it gives it a little bit of an older, worn look without actually distressing it officially. I really enjoyed making this one, and I think it came out really nice. I hope you guys like it. Besides YouTube, feel free to connect with me over on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. Same name, Living My Best Life with Lisa Marie. I post all kinds of stuff on there behind the scenes and just what's going on in my day-to-day life. Hope to see you there. For this DIY, I used another thrifted piece from the Goodwill. It's just this little sign. It was $3, and it's made out of like tin, and then it's got a little bottle in that holder. I'm also going to use some lace and a couple of napkins that I got from Home Goods and Dollar Tree. I'm going to clean this with some rubbing alcohol to make sure that it's nice and smooth. And I'm just going to remove the plies and then just cut out little elements from each of these napkins. So I'm going to get a bird and a couple of flowers, and I am going to Mod Podge them directly onto the bottle. I just want to give it a little more of an interesting kind of a shabby chic look, of course. Oftentimes when we Mod Podge, we'll put the entire napkin or the entire tissue paper or scrapbook paper, but I think it's okay to take little elements and mix them in and just put them on, especially if you're going for a look like this. I think it's just really fun to play around and try different things. Don't be afraid to try new things. You have nothing to lose. I've got that wider piece of lace, and what I'm going to do is cut it down to size, and I'm just going to make it a little piece that you stick in behind the bottle when you put the bottle back in, just to add a little of that lacy feel to it and that feminine touch. And I think it's cute. I mean, this really, I didn't have to sew, I just hot glued it down. This really could not be any easier, and this is, you know, something if you just want to start trying shabby chic crafting, I think this would be an awesome piece. I'm going to take a little bit of this really pretty yarn that I got at Walmart, and I'm just going to tie it around the neck of the bottle, around the threads, and make a cute little bow. I just really wanted to add just that extra little touch, and I put the florals in from the Dollar Tree right into the bottle. Again, super simple, you guys. This is just so basic and easy. And I would say, even if you found a piece that looked different than this, anything that you could put the flowers in or that you could Mod Podge on, it would work. This was so fun. I really hope you guys liked it. And now for one last look at all 3 of these shabby chic DIYs that I did. I don't know, I feel like I did pretty good for my first time. What do you guys think? Be nice. Anyway, I do love how they turned out, and I love the way those flowers look with that warm buff paint on there, and then that wall hanging with the ribbon. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so soft. I could picture this in like a little girl's room, honestly. But if you did decorate your home in shabby chic, you could put this anywhere in the house. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It was so fun to make. Don't forget to check out my description box where you will find Liz, the official craft nerd's channel link and her video link for our partnership. I can't wait to see what she makes because I know it's going to be amazing. Everything I've ever seen her make has been amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so happy that you were here, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. I appreciate the time that you take to watch my videos. It means so much. And remember, you are a blessing to me.